Oh, see, I'm not getting any internet. I'm not loading.
I wonder if that's it. I wonder if it's because
I'm on this internet.
Our internet signal is weak.
I'm on this internet. Is there another internet?
The wireless they got you hooked up?
Huh?
We're on the wireless from EPISD.
Oh, it says we're on.
Okay, well, we are on now. And we're back with 8:57 left in the second quarter. We appreciate those of you that hung with us through our audio difficulties. Eagles have a first down. The ball is at the 21-yard line. And we are back with you here. Barrera from the shotgun takes the snap, rolls to his right, lets a pass go. It's caught by the tight end at the 15-yard line. That's number 84, Joaquin Hernandez. And again, everything comes with its everything new comes with its trial and errors. This is the first time that Eagle Pass Sports Central is live with you on audio only. New district policy for home games. Video will be on a delay. And so Morris and I are coming to you live as things happen on audio only on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel.
And Ruben, the Eagles once again knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
Ball is at the 6-yard line on the far hash mark. Barrera will come to the shotgun. And the Eagles are going to call their first timeout of the half. And that comes with 8:48 left in the first half. We appreciate those who have stuck with us. We're going to take a quick break. Eagles knocking at the door now with 8:48 left in the first half. 14-0 is the Eagle lead over the Mavericks. And Barrera rolls to his left. He's got room out in front of him, and the catch is made, and in for the touchdown goes Sebastian Velasquez on a quarterback sprint out left, Morris, and he found the tight window in for Sebastian Velasquez.
A really fine pass for Barrera, who just led him just perfect.
And on for the point after attempt is Ivan Cruz, junior kicker, to try to make the score 21-0 in favor of the Eagles here about midway through the second quarter. Cruz with the kick, and it is good. And the score now is Eagles. Kick is actually no good. So the score is Eagles 20, Mavericks nothing with 8:40 left here in the second quarter. Again, we want to thank those of you who are joining us on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We had some technical difficulties to start the game, but our audio engineer was able to figure out what the problem was up here. And we certainly thank Cristina Valadez for her outstanding job on the board and on the computer. And we are back with you live now here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. 8:40 left in the first half rather.
No, Ruben, as we look across the way, those stands over there have filled out pretty nice on the opposite side, which is the Eagle Pass side. They are the home team. And also our center section over here on the Mavericks side.
Ivan Cruz will be kicking off after the touchdown. 3 men back deep to receive for the Mavericks, standing at about their own 10-yard line. Bobby Cabrera's had already an outstanding return to start this game. Cruz with the kickoff. And it will be fielded by Cabrera at about the 5-yard line. He brings it to midfield, or to the middle of the field rather, and is brought down as he crosses the 15 to the 17-yard line, and the Mavericks will start from there.
And the Mavericks in some dire need of getting some offense going here. See if they can put some points on the board, as the Eagles have taken a quick 20-0 lead.
21-10, I think, is what's showing on our scoreboards. That point after was good after all. A little slow to show up on the scoreboard there to our right, but it's showing now. Here comes Juan Cruz Jr. with the Maverick offense. 2 receivers on either side of the formation in the pistol formation with a running back behind him. Man in motion to the top of the formation. Cruz Jr. will take the snap. Pumps left, rolls right now, pumps again, looking for someone open, lets the pass go, and it's incomplete. In the area was number 9 for the Mavericks, Kevin Sugaki, junior receiver. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Mavericks now from the 17-yard line. $8:28 left here in the second quarter. 21-0 is the Eagle lead as the sun sets and the shadows fall over on the cross side of the field.
Pretty hefty wind blowing across this field.
On a warm, hot, dry day here in Eagle Pass. Things finally cooling down here at field level. Here's the handoff to the 20-yard line. Goes the man with the football. And the Mavericks will have a 3rd and about 7 now from the 20-yard line with 8:03 left here in the second quarter.
Ruben, we see a lot of cars in the parking lot over here. As we still see some people coming in, probably trying to stay out of the heat.
Folks coming in over on the far side of the field, Eagles fans. The Eagles are the visiting team today, wearing those all-white visitor uniforms. And the Mavericks are going to call a timeout here with 7:39 left in the second quarter, and we'll take a quick break. And we're back with you live here.
Well, Ruben, what I was looking ahead here while they're taking this time out, that next week, both of these teams are at home. The Mavericks hosting Uvalde on Thursday and the Eagles San Antonio Taft on Friday. But what is important, besides the football game, is that for both of our high school teams, it's Parents' Night.
Parents' Night next week, on Thursday for the Mavericks against Uvalde, and on Friday for the Eagles against Taft High School, both coming in here to Koza Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Here's Juan Cruz Jr. Keeps the ball himself. Lots of defensive pressure. He's way back in his own end zone now, and he can just heave the ball out of bounds. I don't know that there was a receiver in the area, Morris, and that ball made it to the line of scrimmage, and because it happened in the end zone, this might be a safety.
And there is the flag. It's in the end zone. There was nobody, no black jerseys anywhere near where he threw the football away. And that's exactly what we believe is going to happen here. Since he threw it from the end zone, that's an intentional grounding penalty from the inside the end zone. And this should be 2 points for the Eagles. This should be a safety. Let's see what they call here.
We'll wait on the call from our head referee, David Eggleton, and he'll say that it is a safety because of the intentional grounding penalty in the end zone, and so they'll add 2 points to the Eagles total, and the score now will be 23-0 after that safety.
And not only that, the Mavericks will have to kick off this football from their own 20.
With 7:27 left here in the first half, Eagles with a 23-0 lead. And the Mavericks, as you mentioned, after having had the ball, will now have to kick off after that safety.
First football game of the season for both of these teams, and the first games are always so difficult, and this one's much more difficult because the Eagles and the Mavericks are playing each other. So it's, not most of these non-district games, you try to use them to, work out all the kinks, make some adjustments. But the Eagles here have taken a 23-0 lead here in the first half as the Mavericks on that intentional grounding penalty from the end zone, inside their own end zone, took the safety.
7:27, as you mentioned, the kickoff will come from the 20-yard line. 2 men back to receive for the Eagles at about the 35. Number 9, Kevin Sugaki, will be kicking off here. So the 2 Eagle return man standing at about their own 35. It's a short kick. Fair caught in Maverick territory at about the 47-yard line by Jeremiah Silva. And here come the Eagles again, this time starting in Maverick territory.
Number 20, Luis Flores, and number 8, Sebastian Velasquez, were the deep men that didn't need the ball was kicked short. But I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of Luis Flores and Sebastian Velasquez in the Eagle offense this season.
Luis Flores on the ground. Sebastian Velasquez, a returning veteran wide receiver. And the coaches told us how comfortable Javier Barrera is with number 8, Sebastian Velasquez. Barrera now in the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield along with him. That handoff is to Luis Flores. Bounces left and cuts through the Maverick defense before being brought down at the 31-yard line. Good enough for an Eagle first down.
Javier Barrera looks just very well after he had an off-season injury that he's recovered well from.
Barrera looks comfortable in this offense. Second year for offensive coordinator Christian Garcia. Now finally able to get this offense going with all of the many weapons that the Eagles have. 6:54 left in the second quarter. Eagles with a 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, ball on the near hash mark. Barrera takes the snap, rolls right, looking for someone downfield. He's going to let the pass go, and that ball is caught.
Wow.
Down there at about the 7-yard line. Sebastian Velasquez had to come back for that one and fight through the defender Morris to come back for it, but he was able to make the catch very near the ground, and the Eagles have a 1st and goal.
The official was signaling that the catch was made. I thought he was looking for a flag because I was almost sure that he was going to call interference. But very Fine catch by Sebastian Velasquez.
And the Eagles now have a 1st and goal from the 7. Ball on the far hash mark. Barrera quickly again in the shotgun. Takes the snap. The handoff is to Luis Flores, who's got room on the left side of the line. Bounces left and into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. With 6:02 left here in the second quarter, Luis Flores with his second touchdown of the ball game makes the score 29-0. Now about halfway through the second quarter, Ivan Cruz will come on for the point after attempt.
And Ruben,
Ivan Cruz will come on to try the point after. 6:02 left here in the second quarter. Kick is up, and it is through the uprights and good. 30-0 now is the score in favor of the Eagles over the Mavericks. We've got 6:02 left in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break. After the Eagle kickoff, the Mavericks will take over. $30 is the score. As the Mavericks come to the line of scrimmage, the 25.
Ruben, we had some interesting predictions here in our prediction show yesterday over at Ancida Ford.
Mavericks will actually start at the 30 over on the far hash mark. The Mavericks going from left to right. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun formation, takes the snap, hands off to the running back, Edward Hurtado. And Hurtado grinds his way through the middle of that Eagle defense to the 36-yard line. 6-yard gain there for the running back. Makes it a 2nd and 4 now for the Mavericks from the 36-yard line. About 5.5 minutes left here in the first half. The Eagles have a 30-0 lead over the Mavericks. Ball on the far hash mark on a 2nd and 4. Juan Cruz Jr. in the pistol formation with Hurtado behind him and 2 receivers here to the near side. Here is the snap. Again, the handoff to Hurtado, and he is met in the backfield by Rodrigo Garcia. Alex Reese, actually, number 2, with the tackle for a loss of about 2 yards, sets him back inside the 35 at the 34.
Alex Reese was right there in the backfield to make the tackle.
Led the charge. There were a couple of other Eagles right around him as he made that tackle, knifing through from his linebacker position. The Eagles play with 4 men down on defense, 4 linemen, and 3, sometimes 4 linebackers behind that formation. So on a 3rd and 6 now for the Mavericks. Juan Cruz Jr. takes the snap, has to avoid pressure, rolling right. There's the pass, and it is incomplete. Intended on the right side for Alejandro Gomez, the sophomore tight end. Would have had a first down, too, if that catch had been made. But it was a little too hot for the intended receiver. With 4:22 left in the second quarter, the Mavericks will come out and punt this ball off.
Gomez had just a lot of white jerseys around him. The throw came into a crowd.
Ball's at the 34-yard line. It will be snapped from there to the punter, Kevin Sugaki. High snap. Sugaki's able to bring it down. Ryan Ray waiting for it back here on the Eagle side of the ball, and it takes a good Maverick bounce as it hits and goes inside the 30. The Eagles will start at their own 29-yard line with 4:09 left.
Actually, a very good punt here, with the wind almost against the Mavericks here. But the punt was very low, and they got it all the way inside the 30, the Eagle 30, to about the 29.
And so with 4:09 left in the first half, the Eagles will take over at the 29-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Javi Barrera still in control of the offense from the shotgun. Two receivers here on either side of the formation. The handoff, it's actually a keeper on the fake handoff. Barrera trying to turn the corner down here, and he will come out of bounds on the near sideline at the 32-yard line, a gain of 3 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Probably the first miscue we've seen. I think Barrera was actually looking for a back to be there to take that handoff, but when that did not materialize, he kept very calm and just started rolling out over here to the near side.
Pulled it back out from the belly of Luis Flores, who was there and kept it himself. No backs in the backfield now with Barrera. He's got 5 men across the formation, 3 to the top side, the right side of the formation, 2 here down here to the near side. Barrera looking downfield, lets the pass go, and it is incomplete. Bounced in front of the intended receiver, Jesus Barba. Barrera had some pressure on him, around him that time, made him a little bit uncomfortable. Clock stops with 3:59 left in the second quarter.
We're in the second quarter with the Eagles leading the Mavericks 30-0 here.
Ball's at the 32-yard line, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Eagles. Eagles have 1 timeout left in this first half. Barrera will be in the shotgun. 3 receivers over to the top side, 1 down here, and Luis Flores in the backfield with him. Pumps to Luis Flores in the flat, lets the pass go. It's caught at the 40-yard line by Jesus Barba, and Barba goes all the way into Maverick territory once he's got the ball in his hand, evading a bunch of tacklers, defenders, and he is in Maverick territory at the 46, a big first down for the Eagles.
Barrera showed his experience. He double pumped to one side, and then very just calmly picked out his receiver downfield.
Drew the defense over to the left flat where Luis Flores was, and that opened up things down the middle of the field for Jesus Barba. Ball on the near hash mark now. 3 receivers over to the far side, 1 over here to the near side. And Barrera in the shotgun with Luis Flores on his left. Read option here. The handoff is to Luis Flores. He's got lots of room on the right side. Jukes a couple of defenders and is finally brought down inside to 30 at the 28-yard line. Another Maverick first down on an 18-yard rush.
So actually on the Eagle offense, really no surprises to what was actually talked about yesterday in the prediction show with Barrera and Flores and Velasquez.
2:50 left in the second quarter. You're right, Morris. The offensive coordinator, Christian Garcia, told us about not only his offensive linemen, but his skill receiver, his skill position guys, and they're showing them off today for sure. 30-0 is the Eagle lead with 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Low snap, picks up, hands off to Embry, and Embry bounces right and is taken down over on the far side of the field, out of bounds at the 21-yard line. 7-yard gain for the change of pace back so far, Avery Embry.
got the Eagle Band over in the north end coming around.
Getting ready for their halftime performance. Thundering Maverick Band over on our right. Waiting also for their halftime performance.
Must
2:26.
feel kind of unusual for our band to go on first at a home game.
That's true. That's true. And they're going to play the Eagle War Cry to that side, to the visitor side of the field too, when they are done. 2nd and 3 for the Eagles from the 21-yard line. Barrera drops back to pass, looks right. They're going to call the play dead. And there is a flag down here at about the 20-yard line thrown by the head linesman. And we'll see if this is a false start against the Eagles. It'll cost them 5 yards. They're going to put this ball down now at
Coach
the 26-yard line.
Picked up that flag, calmly handed it to the official, while at the same time shouting some instructions to his defense.
Multitasking down there for Coach Rene Ramirez. 2:23 left in the second quarter. Eagles have a 30-0 lead. We'll fix our score bug here in just a second. Barrera drops back to pass. Looks right. There's a flag thrown on the far side of the field. That pass overthrown for the intended receiver there.
Well, I think the Mavericks were a little early, about a half count early, trying to get into the backfield quickly. We had single coverage over on the far right, on the far side corner of the end zone.
2:17 left. Again, for those of you just joining us, the reason you're only listening to us on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, district policy this year, all home games will not be broadcast on video live. iVision will have a delayed video feed for you after the game, but unless you're here in person at the stadium, all you'll be able to listen to is audio of the game live here. That goes for home games only. But Eric Villaseñor, Director of Athletics, let us know that the idea was to get more people to come to the stadium. And for that reason, video will be on delay here. And no matter where you tune in this evening, and for the rest of Mavericks and Eagles home games, you will get audio description of the game. We've had a timeout called on the field. We do want to thank our sponsors for the season, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship.
You know, Ruben, when we're looking at the schedule, we were discussing earlier about how large the Maverick district is as far as number of teams, and then of course the Eagles, because we have the Mavericks starting district pretty quick. They don't have a lot of they're playing tonight against the Eagles, and then they pretty much I think then they play Uvalde.
And then right there on week 3, they welcome the Southwest Legacy Titans here for their first district game of the season. So the Mavericks with that 9-game district get started in district play a lot sooner than the Eagles do. 2 minutes left here. The handoff is to Luis Flores, who tries to bounce right and is brought down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. A minute 48, clock ticking down now as we near the end of the half. And, of course, that was a 2-minute timeout now in place in the NCAA in college football. And, of course, now because Texas UIL Athletics follows NCAA rules established here as well. So that 2-minute, we don't call it a 2-minute warning because it's not the NFL, but it's a 2-minute timeout. A minute 22 left here in the first half. Eagles knocking on the door again from the 8-yard line with a 2nd and 6. Man in motion. That's Embry in motion. Here comes the blitz. Barrera gets the pass off. It's in and out of the hands of Jesus Barba in the back of the end zone. And you've got to hand it to Javier Barrera, who stood in there and took a hit right as he released that pass.
One of the few times that actually Javier Barrera really took a hit as he released, and it came from his blind side. He really did not see that coming.
1:06 left. Clock stops on the incompletion. The Eagles have time to get the play call in now from the 8-yard line. 3rd and 6. The Eagles can still get a first down at the 3. Javier Barrera in the shotgun. The handoff is to Embry, and Embry picks his way through the defense and goes into the end zone for his first touchdown of the game, and he puts 6 more points on the board for the Eagles. With 1:01 left here in the second quarter, sophomore running back Avery Embry takes the handoff from Javier Barrera and scoots his way through the middle of the defense for an 8-yard touchdown scamper. 36-0 now is the score. Ivan Cruz on for the point after attempt. The kick is up and on its way, and it is good. 1:01 left here in the second quarter, and the Eagles have taken a 37-0 lead over the Mavericks. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back.
Like 20, like
1:01 left in the first half. Ivan Cruz with the kickoff. It's a deep one over the head. Actually, Bobby Cruz is going to, Bobby Cabrera rather, is going to field that about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Is there a fumble down there at about the 10-yard line? Bobby Cabrera fielded that kickoff inside the end zone about 2 yards deep, tried to come out, and then the ball was jostled loose from his grip at about the 10-yard line. First turnover of the ball game.
he had to go back, actually running into the end zone to make the catch. And then right when he passed the 5-yard line, he was hit. And that ball's going to be spotted at the 10-yard line.
The Eagles will start from there with 53 seconds left on the clock. Barrera will keep it himself, rolls right, looking for someone in the end zone, lets the pass go, and the pass is caught over on the far side of the field by number 84, Joaquin Hernandez. We do have a flag down here at about the 15-yard line on the near sideline, at about the 11. We want to wait to see what the call is. But what a pass and what a catch over on the far side of the field. About 8 yards deep in the end zone. We've got an ineligible receiver downfield for the Eagles, and that's going to nullify the touchdown.
Got to hand it to number 84, though, Joaquin Hernandez, who really climbed the ladder to go get that football on what looked like an apparent touchdown reception.
The defender right in front of him was able to get over the top and bring it down, but the touchdown is nullified. The ball is now spotted at the 15-yard line with 45 seconds left in the first half. And a quick pass over to the right side. And brought down immediately is the receiver, Jeremiah Silva. And Silva gets taken out of bounds. The clock stops. Actually, they're going to let the clock run with about 25 seconds left. The Eagles are not in any particular hurry to score here, up 37-0 with just under 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Eagles have a second and goal now, all the way back here from the 16-yard line. Barrera back to pass, has a clean pocket, lets the pass go, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Bobby Cabrera, who had that fumble to give the Eagles the ball in the first place, making up for it there with an interception. A receiver flashed open very quickly for Javier Barrera there in the end zone, and Cabrera had his head on a swivel, turned around just at the right time, and was able to intercept that. They're showing all zeros on the clock. Rene Ramirez, I think, was asking the refs if there was any time left on the clock, but the clock ran down at the end, and so both of these teams will go into the locker room. Morris, your thoughts on a first half dominated by the Eagles?
Well, just like you just mentioned, all Eagles in this first half. The Eagles received the football, scored on their first drive, and just really never looked back. And we already knew that the Eagles would have an experienced quarterback, and also some. Velasquez, the receiver, and Luis Flores. Now we're seeing a newcomer, Embry, that is carrying the football for the Eagles. So the Mavericks have got to go in the dressing room and figure out what they need to do to stop this Eagle offense.
37-0 is the score at halftime. Morris and I will step aside for the halftime festivities down on the field, but we will be right back with you here for the start of the second half. We want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship of these broadcasts all season long here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Join us, won't you, for the start of the second half. We're back live with you for the start of the second half. I know a lot of you joined us on our Eagle Pass Sports Central Facebook page and our Eagle Pass Sports Central YouTube channel. Hoping to see the game live today, as we've mentioned several times throughout the broadcast. We mentioned it yesterday at the prediction show. New district policy this year, no live video of home games. All home games will be shown on a delay 2 hours from start time. Now, away games, we will be able to bring you live on video, and we hope to do that throughout the season here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. But for the meantime, it's kind of old school here, partner, back in the radio days when you and I and Lynn Purcell and yourself were doing this on radio.
We have to paint the picture.
Have to paint the picture. That falls on your humble play-by-play man. And so I'll tell you that as we start the second half, the Eagles will be moving from right to left on your screen, and the Mavericks from left to right. 3 men back deep to receive this kickoff for the Mavericks. Bobby Cabrera there in the middle. Jaime Rojas over on the far side, and another receiver down here over on the near side. Ivan Cruz will kick off things for the Eagles here. 37-0 is the Eagle lead as we head into the third quarter. Here is a kickoff. It will go past Rojas and out the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Mavericks will start here at the 20-yard line.
Probably a wise decision by Jaime Rojas to just let that ball go into the end zone and out the back of the end zone.
So the Mavericks will have the ball first here to start the second half. And we'll see what Juan Cruz Jr. has here. You know, one of the things about having a score like this is that you get to work on stuff, at least. Coaches get to call down plays, see what's going to work or not. The Mavericks will welcome the Uvalde Coyotes here next week. On Thursday, the Eagles will be here against the Taft Raiders. Juan Cruz Jr. with the handoff. Over to the left side of the formation goes the ball carrier, number 22, Aaron Rodriguez. And he'll get about 3 yards on the carry to the 28.
Most definitely for the Mavericks. I mean, you're down 37-0, but one of the things you want to do is play some ball control. You want to keep your defense off the field, and you want to run some clock, get some first downs, and get some points on the board.
Mavericks looking to maintain a rhythm here, establish a rhythm. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard carry by Rodriguez. Juan Cruz Jr. takes the snap, looks around, and that catch is incomplete. It looked like for a second there it might have been intercepted here at the 23-yard line. Number 3, Rodrigo Garcia, defensive back, was in the area, but that ball hit the ground. And you can see what's happening more is that defensive pressure is on Juan Cruz Jr. almost immediately after he gets the snap.
Cruz had to throw that over a couple of Eagles, and that sure does hurt your visibility, and that one almost intercepted.
So now it's a 3rd and 7 for the Mavericks from the 28-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Tight formation for the Mavericks. 2 receivers over to the far side of the formation. Juan Cruz Jr. in the pistol with a running back behind him. Takes the snap. Handoff goes to Aaron Rodriguez again, trying to turn the corner, and the Eagle defense is on him quickly. They won't even let him reach the 30. Rodriguez now will move the pile with some help from his offensive lineman across the 30 to the 31. So it's a gain of 3 yards, but still not enough for a first down. And the Mavericks will have to punt.
Looks like there's a swirling wind. It looks like I can't see the flag, but I think this is blowing against the Mavericks here, isn't it?
It is. It's at the Eagles. It's actually at the Mavericks back and going towards the Eagles for now. We see the American flag and the Texas flag over off on our right. Kevin Sugaki will come in to punt this ball for the Mavericks. Ryan Rea awaits it. He'll make the catch at the 41-yard line. Backpedals a little bit. Now moving forward. Comes here to the near side. He's at midfield. And finally he's able to turn the corner before being pushed out of bounds in Maverick territory. They're going to mark that down at the 40. 37-yard line.
Ryan Rea really diminutive, I want to call him, but he sure can turn those legs and he sure can move, can't he?
That's right. Rea from his defensive back position just stepped back to await that punt, and he got the Eagles into good field position here. Starters still on the field for the Eagles. That's Javier Barrera and Luis Flores in the backfield. Ball on the near hash mark. Eagles going right to left. 37-0 is the Eagle lead. Here is a handoff to Luis Flores on a read option, and Flores is clotheslined down inside the 40 at the 38-yard line, about a yard shy of a first down.
Heading to the far side of the field, but the Maverick defense, the pursuit came up quickly, and nonetheless, Flores with 9 yards on the carry.
It's a second and about half, the nose of the football. Very near the line to get the 37. Barrera looks left. Pass is caught by Sebastian Velasquez. Finds his way at the 35, 30, 25, 20, and finally taken out of bounds down here on the near side at the 16-yard line. Looks like the Eagles took advantage of a big cushion there from the defensive backs to the receiver.
And of course, Barrera in the offseason worked really hard, both on his passing and also his ability to pick out receivers.
And in particular, his connection, the coaches told us, with Sebastian Velasquez is very strong for this Eagle offense. 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 16-yard line. Here's a handoff to Luis Flores, and he's going to scurry down the left side and into the touchdown for a 16-yard touchdown run. By my count, that is Luis Flores' third touchdown of the game. A 16-yard rush this time. Comes with 9:07 into third quarter, and the special teams unit will come on for the point after attempt. Ivan Cruz will kick this try.
So the Eagles very quickly on the scoreboard here to open the second half. Here's the point after.
Ivan Cruz with the kickoff. It is up and it is good, with the point after attempt, rather. Up and good. And the score now is Eagles 44, Mavericks nothing. That comes with 9:07 left in the third quarter. We'll step away very quickly and be right back. So the Eagles will kick off now after that touchdown, a 16-yard touchdown run for Luis Flores. Makes the score 44-0 in favor of the Eagles. 9:07 left in the third quarter. 3 men back deep to receive for the Mavericks. That's number 11, Jaime Riojas, number 3, Bobby Cabrera, and number 23, Adolfo Pulido, waiting back there for the kickoff from... This is not Ivan Cruz. This is Aldo Perez with the kickoff. Sophomore kicker getting some playing time here. This is fielded by Rojas over on the left side, on the far side of the field, and comes here to about the 21 before being dropped by the Eagle coverage team. And I think at this point now, based on the fact that Aldo Perez, sophomore kicker, kicked off that time, the Eagles might be bringing in some of their backup, some of their second-string players, to get them some experience, some playing time here in the first game of the season. Of course, the Eagles are in that very familiar district to them. Here's Juan Cruz Jr. in the pistol formation. He'll take the snap. The handoff is to We'll see the number that pops up from there. That's number 22, Aaron Rodriguez with the carry. And Rodriguez gets a yard to the 22, 2nd and 9 coming up for the Mavericks.
Mavericks, you would think, would have to open this up, throwing the football some.
We'll see if they're able to do that now. And if Cruz is able to get that done here in this drive. Ball on the near hash mark, 2nd and 9. Quick pass caught on the left flat by Adolfo Pulido, and Pulido is able to advance the ball across the 25 to the 26, a 4-yard gain there. It's going to make it a 3rd and about 5 now for the Mavericks. We talked about the Eagles district, again, those very familiar teams. The United ISD schools, Alexander, LBJ, United, and United South, plus a new team as of last year, new 6A team, Medina Valley, and of course the Eagles' old rival, Del Rio, the Del Rio Rams. So that is the district that the Eagles are facing. Head coach Roger Olivas was very frank with us at the prediction show. Here's Cruz to pass. Heaves a pass downfield. He's got a man open. Kevin Sugaki was streaking down the near sideline, well past his defender, just overthrown and led too much towards the sideline. That pass by Cruz. If he had caught that, Morris, he had green grass ahead of him.
If that had been on the money, he'd have been gone. You had 2 Eagle defensive backs. I have to say this. They sort of turned back and looked at each other and said, hey, one of us had that guy. And I'm sure that that's an adjustment they're going to make, because had he caught that football, he would have clear sailing into the end zone.
And now Kevin Sugaki, after running all of that way, has to stay in and punt for the Mavericks. Ryan Reyes standing back here just at about midfield at about the 47-yard line, awaiting this punt from Sugaki. It is a high punt. Reyes will let it bounce out of bounds as it takes a good Maverick roll here to about the 35-yard line. The Eagles will start there. It's going to be interesting to see with 7:08 left in the third quarter who comes out the other side. And you called it, partner. Number 12, Jay Jaques, is coming onto the field as the new quarterback for the Eagles. And, of course, a bunch of different new numbers as we look down onto the field in those skill positions now for the Eagles.
Well, Jay Jaques, well-known athlete, also a baseball player, played in many World Series with Babe Ruth baseball, and he is quite an athlete.
Ball is at the 35-yard line. Jaques is now into shotgun, takes the snap, will hand off, and there's room for the running back, number 28, Jesus Montaño. The senior listed as a linebacker, playing running back today. 6:52 left in the third quarter. Let's talk a little bit about the Mavericks district now. We mentioned it a couple of times already in the broadcast, a bigger district than you would like. 9 teams in the Mavericks district. Of course, from San Antonio, you've got South San Antonio, Southside High School, Southwest High School, and Southwest Legacy High School. So 4 teams from the San Antonio area. We'll finish that up as soon as we get this next play. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles from the 38-yard line. Here's a quick pass caught by Bastian Medina, and Medina gets inside the 40 to the 38-yard line, about 3 yards shy of a first down. So you've got those 4 teams from the San Antonio area. You've got Cigarroa, Martin, and Nixon from the Laredo ISD schools, and then, of course, one more from San Antonio that we forgot from Northside, actually. J High School is in that district all by itself out of that Northside ISD in San Antonio. 3rd and 3 for the Eagles now from the 42-yard line. Jaques in the shotgun, takes the snap, steps back. Some defensive pressure in his face, rolls right, finds his receiver at about midfield. Joaquin Hernandez with the catch. And to the 40-yard line goes Hernandez. Joaquin Hernandez, a great new addition here to the Eagles, a sophomore kind of, would you call him a tight end / wide receiver, but they've used him already a couple of times. And of course,
size.
Good size to any Cowboys fans, especially those of us watching the Glory Days documentary. Big number 84, Jay Novacek back in the 90s for the Cowboys.
You remember the Glory Days of the Cowboys?
Well, we do. Those are the only ones we've got. They're about 30. They're about 40 years old now, but those are the only ones we've got. Joaquin Hernandez there with the catch in the first down for the Eagles from the 40-yard line. First and 10. It's a keeper for Jay Jaques, rolling right, stiff arms a man at the 35, and then is pushed out of bounds over on the far side of the field inside the 35 at the 34-yard line.
The Eagles on a drive here now with Jay Jaques at the helm. And very quickly, Jay has got the butterflies all worked out here.
Found a rhythm for himself. 2nd and 4 for the Eagles now from inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Ball of the far hash mark. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for Jaques. High snap, quick pass, caught on the far side of the field by number 17, who's still on the move. That's Amado Rivera with the catch. Brings it back to about midfield as he was trying to squirm away from the defense. No gain. The ball, the line of scrimmage will remain to 33, actually maybe about a yard gain there.
Number 36, Humberto Munoz Jr. there to make the tackle. The Maverick coaches did tell us that we'd be calling out the name of Humberto Munoz quite a lot.
And we've been calling it out for about 4 years now as Humberto Munoz, an all-star defensive tackler for the Mavericks. 3.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Quick pass by Jaques, in and out of the hands, incomplete. Again intended for number 17, Amado Rivera. And that will bring up now a 4th down, 4th and 3 from the 33-yard line.
We do know one thing, that Jay Jaques can put some zip on that ball. That was a bullet.
Like a throw from third to first there.
Yeah. And we know he's got an arm because he pitches in baseball.
Fourth and 3 for the Eagles. They'll keep the offense on the field. Jay Jaques in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks left, looking for an open receiver. The pass is caught at the 26-yard line and dropped there immediately is the receiver. That's number 30, it looks like. Fernando Morales with the catch. That's actually number 80 with the catch. Bastian Medina, his 2nd catch of the ball game.
Number 33, Leonardo Vasquez, right on the play to bring him down.
And it's another Eagle first down at the 27-yard line. Jaques in the shotgun now has 3 receivers to the left side. And we'll hand off here to the running back who bounces left, is able to turn the corner, puts his head down at the 20-yard line. That is number 28, again, Jesus Montaño with a couple of good carries so far here for the Eagles in the third quarter.
Eagles using some clock here.
It's going to be a 2nd and 3 at the 20. With 2:20 left here in the third quarter. Some scores from around Region 4. Hewitt Midway beating Round Rock Westwood 56-19. 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. Ball on the near hash mark. Handoff to Montaño, who's got room. Heads north and south. There's a flag on the play at about the 20. This is going to come back. I think this was holding right as Montaño turned the corner. Pflugerville Wise has beaten Round Rock McNeil 56-28. Cedar Park Vista Ridge beats the Killeen Kangaroos 30-14. Round Rock Stony Point over Georgetown Eastview 42-20. We're going to mark this back on the penalty. The ball's going to end up at the 30 after the holding call, where it's going to be a 2nd down now and about 13. Dripping Springs leading Austin Vandergrift 20-7 at halftime.
That's a surprise.
That is a surprise. Vandergrift, usually a strong team. Austin Bowie beating Manor 42-0. Eagles have some substitutions now coming in. The substitution issue gets a little more complicated when you've got your second string players here.
Well, yeah, especially when those players are not used to coming in and out, and they have to adjust very quickly.
Into the formations, but now Jay Jaques is ready for the snap. Ball is at the 30-yard line. A 2nd and 13 for the Eagles. Jaques from the shotgun takes the snap, looks left, lets the pass go. It's incomplete. His receiver fell down at about the 22-yard line, his intended receiver. It's number 19, Marcos Trevino, who was awaiting that ball. Round Rock Cedar Ridge beating Buda Johnson at halftime, 21-10. San Marcos 13-6 over Hutto in the second quarter. Del Valle beating Bastrop 47-0. Lake Travis all over Arlington Martin 41-7. 3rd and 13 to go here for the Eagles. Jaques, low snap, has to pick it up off the ground, rolls right, asks his receiver to go downfield, lets the pass go. He's got a man in the area and just slightly overthrown. Montaño was there in the end zone. So were about 3 other receivers all clustered up there in the area. The Eagles are going to punt this football after that incompletion on 3rd down.
I do believe this is the Eagles' first punt of the football game, isn't it?
Based on my score sheet, I think it is the first time the Eagles will punt. Prosper beating Austin Westlakes 29-14. Austin Aikens beating Austin Travis 36-0. New Braunfels Canyon beating Austin High School 14-3. Some scores closer to home now.
Field goal
Attempt. This is going to be a 47-yarder by Ivan Cruz. And the kick is good. A 47-yard field goal for Ivan Cruz. Gets through the uprights.
That's exactly sometimes when, games like this come in handy where you can try to kick a field goal like that, and not only that, make it.
And you look at the flags with the wind in his face. So very impressive 47-yard field goal makes the score 47-0 for the Eagles against the Mavericks. A minute 24 left in the third quarter. When we come back in just a little bit, we'll finish up the scores from Region 4. A minute 24 left in the third quarter. Eagles are about to kick off after that 47-yard field goal by Ivan Cruz puts them up 47-0. Aldo Perez, sophomore kicker, will get this kickoff. It's a short one, fielded by Bobby Cabrera at about the 14-yard line. Cabrera has some room, comes here to the near side after evading a bunch of tacklers, and the Mavericks will have good field position to start on offense at the 34-yard line with a minute 15 left in the third quarter.
Ruben, look at this shootout over in San Antonio. Brandeis 28, O'Connor 25 at halftime.
Oh, wow. I think we all had Brandeis picked there during the prediction show. You mentioned a very surprising score partner, Johnson, all over Converse Judson, all over Judson, 45-7. That's a final. Another final, Clark over Sotomayor, 13-9.
That was last night.
Mm-hmm. Churchill beat Stevens 17-14. Smithson Valley beat Roosevelt beating them at halftime 42-0. Here's a handoff over to the left side, a pass caught by number 11 Jaime Rojas, and Rojas will lose 2 yards to the 33 about a yard to the 33-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 11 now for the Mavericks.
Here's a game of interest to us. Alexander 48 and Marshall 14.
Ooh, Alexander Bulldogs beating up on one of the old North Side schools. 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. Cruz is going to keep it himself. He'll slide down for the loss of another yard back at the 32. It's going to be a 3rd and long for the Mavericks now.
And Laredo United, 21-0, leading Warren at halftime.
Oh, I had picked Warren in that game. That shows me. But the New Braunfels Unicorns, who I did pick, are beating Madison 14-7 in the second quarter. MacArthur and Lee tied at 0 at half. How about that?
That's a defensive game.
Some would call it a pillow fight, partner. You could call it a defensive struggle if you so chose, if you so wanted.
And here's another one. If you've ever heard of the Hutto Hippos, very that rhymes.
Unique.
San Marcos is beating them 13-6.
Mavericks have called a timeout down on the field. Actually, change of quarter here as we're going to start.
You know, this is a game that Medina Valley, 34-20 over Leander.
Medina Valley, a strong team coming into 6A competition last year, and really showed how tough that team could be in the Eagles district. Clemens is beating Taft 14-7 at halftime. Of course, we'll see the Taft Raiders here next week against the Eagles here at the
SAC. That has become quite a classic over the last 2 or 3 years, hasn't it?
It really has. These Eagles and Raiders teams keep facing each other in the playoffs in that first round, and it has really become a heated rivalry over the past couple of seasons. 3rd and 12 to go here. Cruz looking, trying to find somebody open. Here comes the defensive pressure. Lets a pass go, and it is tipped and incomplete. Number 13, Tristan Villaseñor, right there on the call. One receiver was in the area for the Mavericks. Pass is incomplete, and the Mavericks now will punt.
But we are now in 47-0 Eagles. I can't exactly see how much time is left over there, but
11:51 left in the ball game. The Eagles are about to get the ball back here after this punt. We'll bring you some scores from the Mavericks region. Wagner beating New Braunfels Long Creek, which is a non-UIL team, 49-19. San Antonio Piper beating Bernie 28-14. Georgetown beating Victoria East 21-0. Oh, here's a game that I had very wrong. The Alamo Heights beating Seguin 63-14. I went out on a limb there with the Matadors. That's going to cost me dearly after week 1 in the predictions. Bernie Champion beating Laredo United South 37-3. I think we had all picked Bernie Champion there. Jay Hake is back on the field for the Eagles now. Line of scrimmage for the Eagles is the 36-yard line. Now moving from left to right are the Eagles. And here's a handoff. Loss of a yard back to the 35 for the ball carrier, Jesus Montaño.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Now, you have a vested interest now in the Texas Longhorns. Ohio State, Texas.
I do.
How do you see that?
I think Ohio State's been a little too quiet. They're the defending national champions, of course. They eliminated the Longhorns from the playoffs last year. Lots of turnover up in Columbus. Here's a keeper for Jay Jaques, and he gets stood up, and he'll lose about 3 yards inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Well, Jaques got his helmet knocked off. He got hit hard. I think he's going to have to come off the field if his helmet is off, and we'll see who the Eagles send in now.
That is interesting.
As a quarterback, here comes Javier Barrera probably just a hand off to somebody, you would think, at this point. 10:59 left in the fourth quarter as Jaques goes over to the other side of the field, the far side of the field, and he'll get checked out, I'm sure.
He got stood up, and I don't know if anybody came in and hit him from the side.
Barrera takes the snap. He's going to pass, steps up in the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. Got to be careful at this point in the game not to have any injuries, but Barrera is still on his horse, will be finally pushed out of bounds in Maverick territory at the 32-yard line. And so Barrera comes in and lights a fire for the Eagles, Morris, and gets them a big first down into Maverick territory.
And we do see Jay Jaques coming back on the field.
And Barrera saying, "You sure, Coach?"
No. Well, he hasn't seen that Jay Jaques is standing right there behind him.
Jaques was right there next to him.
But that's a good try anyway, though, right? I want to stay in.
When you're a competitor, you want to stay in. 10:15 left in the ball game. Eagles are up 47-0. Here's a long pass down the sideline, incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, Amado Rivera. And as we were talking about, lots of turnover for the Buckeyes. A lot of their star players.
You have a penalty on the field.
Departed. Penalty flag down on the field looks like to be against the Eagles.
But the test of fire comes quickly for Arch Manning, doesn't it?
It sure does with that Buckeye defense tomorrow. Now, of course, part of the change for Ohio State was also both of their coordinators have moved on. Chip Kelly has moved on, and the defensive coordinator, I believe, is no longer there anymore. But Steve Sarkisian is going to take his Longhorns up to Columbus into the Big Horseshoe and try to do his best. There's a fumble. Nobody's realized that the ball is on the ground. Now the Mavericks finally go and try to fall on top of it. We'll see if they have recovered, and they have. Mavericks have forced a fumble, and they will fall on top of it and take over here at the 43-yard line, it looks like, with 9:47 left in the ballgame. 47-0 is the Eagle lead.
That football just sort of rolling toward the sideline like everybody forgot about it for a few seconds.
Everybody was concentrated on the man who had the football. And that ball, you and I saw it, partner, was laying there on the ground kind of squirting around for a while before anybody realized that thing was available, and the Mavericks pounced on it. Here's some more scores from the Mavericks district, actually. Nixon beating Corpus Christi Ray 14-0 at halftime. South San has beaten McCollum 30-27. So a handoff to number 22, Aaron Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is able to get maybe a yard on the right side.
Strung out to the far side of the field. He could not really get north and south, and no gain on the play.
Laredo Cigarroa leading Zapata 28-17. We used to play down in Zapata back in the day, did we not?
It's been a while, but yes.
For a while.
I went down there many years ago when my daughter was playing volleyball, which has been a while, for a volleyball playoff game down there.
So that little spot between Laredo and the Valley, Zapata. 9 minutes left here in the ball game. 47-0 is the Eagle lead. 2nd and 9 to go for the Mavericks from the 43-yard line. And they're going to whistle that play dead. Looks to be pre-snap penalty against the Mavericks that will cost them some yardage.
You know, Texas A&M's got UTSA tomorrow, and sometimes I'm leery about those teams like UTSA.
Well, you know, the UTSA, since moving into what we used to call Division I, now we call it Football Bowl Subdivision, FBS, has really made a strong impact. However, they've really been raided these past couple of years by the NIL deals, and so a lot of their top players have gone on to other Division I schools. We'll see if the Aggies can take advantage of that tomorrow in Mike Elko's second season at the helm over there in College Station. Here comes the pressure against Cruz, and he's going to be dropped for a huge
By the way, this
sack.
is a new quarterback, isn't it? Number 7?
Number 7 for the Mavericks is Juan Cruz Jr.
Oh, it is. You're correct. That's
8:19 left in the ball game, and Cruz dropped all the way back to the 25-yard line. A huge sack of over 20 yards there as he had the defense in his face. Legacy beating Jefferson 28-0 in the third quarter. Somerset beating Southside 23-7 in the fourth quarter. Southwest having a tough time with Harlandale, all tied up at 7 at the half. Again, those are schools that are in the Mavericks district. Martin and Jay will play tomorrow. 7:38 left in the ball game. Here's a handoff straight ahead to Aaron Rodriguez. He'll get maybe a couple of yards to the 28 and no more. A long, long way from the line to get for a first down of the Mavericks. And so Mavericks are actually going to leave their offense on the field on 4th and 28 from the 28-yard line.
Here they come. They're going to send in the punting team.
It looked for a minute there like Juan Cruz Jr. was staying in along with his offensive line, but you're right, partner. Here comes the punt team now. Kevin Sugaki will be kicking off. 2 men back here to receive for the Eagles at about the 45-yard line. 6:53 left in the game. Punt is on its way, fielded down here by Ryan Ray. We'll get it into Maverick territory and is finally spun down at the 41-yard line. The Eagles will start from there. We want to thank our sponsors here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Brown Chevrolet, Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship of these broadcasts. And, of course, our prediction shows every week throughout the season.
Have a vested interest now I have in the Natalia Mustangs.
That's true.
I have my son-in-law, my only son-in-law, coaching down there now, and Natalia beating Skidmore Tynan 55-0.
6:31 left in the ball game.
Hawk is just able to fall on that one.
Second down and about 11 now for the Eagles at the 42-yard line. Of course, in no hurry now to call these plays. Under 20 seconds left in the on the play clock there. But to answer your question, Morris, after a long diatribe there, yes, go Longhorns tomorrow. Let's hope. My son was excited. Steve Sarkisian showed up at the freshman convocation this past week and talked to them. Is it coming or is it not? It's actually a catch. We were looking for a flag as there was all kinds of contact there. The ball is finally caught down on the ground by Amado Rivera. What a catch by Rivera down there, fighting with the defensive back who was in his face and for the football. And he's come up with it, and the Eagles have a first down at the 16-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Kakis in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the top side of the formation. And Rivera down here to the near side. Kakis rolling left, looking for a receiver, has his man at the 10-yard line. That's Marco Medellin with the catch. And Medellin is brought down at about the 9. It's going to be about 2nd and 4 from there now for the Eagles. Ball on the far hash mark.
We're becoming familiarized with some new names that we'll be calling out here as the season goes on.
They will be important throughout this Eagle season. Ball on the far hash mark. Hawkins waits for the snap, takes it, rolls left with the ball to the back of the end zone and caught for the touchdown back there by number 80, Bastian Medina. 6 more points on the board for the Eagles. 53-0 is the score with 4:38 left in the ball game.
We're finding out that Jay Hawkins can throw the football.
He really can. He's had a couple of very good throws, and that one was a very difficult throw, moving to his left and then finding that receiver about 8 yards deep in the end zone.
He was not going to his side, as we'd like to say, with a right-hander.
Flag on the play, it looks like late.
Well, we spoke early.
We did. An ineligible receiver downfield, and it's going to
Wipe out.
Yep. Wipe the touchdown off the board, and the Eagles will now have the ball at the 19-yard line. 4:38 left here in the ball game.
Let's see if they call a play to give Mr. Hawkins another shot in the end zone.
From the 19-yard line, Hawkins will hand off to Montaño. Montaño bounces left, stiff arms a man at about the 10, and is brought down right there at the 10-yard line over on the far side of the field, just a couple of yards shy of a first down. It's going to be now 3rd and about 4 there from the 10-yard line. Line to reach is the 6 for a first down. Clock is still ticking, 4:02 left in the ball game. Eagles, for the moment, had a 53-0 lead. That touchdown was taken off the board after the flag, and so the lead now is still 47-0 as it appears on our screen. I want to thank you all so much for joining us on this opening ball game of the season. Continue to join us on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Here's a keeper for Jaques who gets tripped up at about the 7, and he's going to be a yard shy of a first down. It's going to be 4th and 1 from there. We'll see if the offense stays on the field to try to get that, or if Ivan Cruz comes out of the field to try to kick another field goal. And it looks like Ivan Cruz is going to come out to kick what should be. Ball right now is at the 7. They're going to put it down for him at about the 19. So a 29-yard field goal attempt for Ivan Cruz. Actually, this is Aldo Perez, the sophomore kicker, attempting a 29 balls at the 14, so a 24-yard field goal attempt. But before that, the Eagle coaches call a timeout. We've got 2:39. The clock isn't quite stopping yet. 2:30. Well, I guess we're just going to let this clock run. Unless they're not going to call a play before the 2-minute warning. Or the 2-minute timeout, and I think that's what's happening, is they're just going to let it. Well, the clock stops now with 2:23. So that clock kept ticking for a while after the Eagles called a timeout. Eagles have 1 timeout left. So sophomore kicker Aldo Perez will attempt
and he is left-footed.
A left-footed kicker will attempt a 26-yard field goal, 24-yard field goal. They're going to put this down at the 14-yard line. You mentioned it, Morris. This is a good time to practice these kinds of plays and get your players who might not have real game time experience to do that, and that is the case for Aldo Perez here. There's a snap, the hold. The kick is blocked at the line of scrimmage, and if the Mavericks can pick this up and run the other way, but Perez is able to come all the way back from his kicker position and bring the man down. So the kick too low, on too low a trajectory. The Mavericks, you got to give them credit, leaping up there to block that.
Boy, that ball ricocheted off somebody and came straight back the other way, didn't it?
It sure did. 2:38 left in the fourth quarter. 47-0 is the Eagle lead, and the Mavericks will take over on offense. We'll see if Juan Cruz is still in the ball game now, and he is. Number 7 still in the ball game. Mavericks will have their offensive starters late here in the fourth quarter.
And what about your Missouri Tigers?
Well, we played yesterday against Central Arkansas. Comfortable victory for Missouri. Next week will be a little bit of a tougher challenge. Here's a handoff straight up ahead to the 48-yard line. Goes the ball carrier. That should be number 22 that comes out of the pile. It is Aaron Rodriguez. 2:20 left in the ball game. We've got the Kansas Jayhawks The old Civil War rivalry renewed between Missouri and Kansas. Not quite as heated as A&M and UT, but certainly a long time rivalry that was actually suspended when Missouri left for the SEC and Kansas stayed in the Big 12. Of course, those were all old Big 8 rivals. Here's a 2-minute timeout before the end of the game. We're going to use that opportunity to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
For next week, though.
2nd and 2 for the Mavericks. Quick pass caught by Rojas down here at midfield, and he'll get a first down, spun out of bounds down on the near sideline at the 46-yard line. We're looking, partner, at the calendar of athletic events for both the Mavericks and the Eagles. Of course, Monday is Labor Day for most folks, even though the school district will have students in attendance. But after Monday, after Labor Day, we see that on Tuesday, Memorial plays Eagle Pass Junior High. Memorial will be the home team. That's happening here. Also on Tuesday, September 2nd, volleyball, high school, Wynn will play versus Harlandale at Wynn.
And then as the play down, Mavericks got that down to what, about the 35?
New set of downs for the Mavericks, down to the 35. Rojas with the catch on the far side of the field, and Rene Ramirez is going to call a timeout with 1:03 left.
We got some football on next Wednesday on the 3rd. We got the Memorial Junior High 8th grade against the Eagle Pass Junior High 8th grade at 5:30. Memorial Junior High is the home team, that football game here. We got volleyball next Wednesday. Junior high volleyball with Eagle Pass Junior High 8th grade playing Memorial Junior High here at the SAC. Volleyball also Eagle Pass Junior High 7th grade against Memorial 7th grade. We have football, but it's out of town next. Well, we were wondering how long it was going to take before we had a few shenanigans out here with some of the smoke bombs.
Over on the far side of the field, we're seeing that smoke slowly drift southward.
As here come the Mavericks back on the field.
Mavericks called a timeout to try to get their offense in order. They've got a 1st and 10 at the Eagle 35. Cruz in the pistol formation will take the snap, rolls left. Now comes back to the middle of the field, still on his feet, rolling way back. Finally, just lets the pass go. Incomplete. A 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Mavericks.
Football for next week. On Wednesday the 3rd, we do have the Eagle Pass High School, the 9th and JV, playing Taft at San Antonio. And Wynn will be playing Uvalde over in Uvalde.
And on Thursday, September 4th, we'll be here for a game between the Mavericks and the Uvalde Coyotes. 7 o'clock kickoff here at the SAC. And Wynn Tennis will be playing here at the SAC as well at 4:30 against MacArthur. 54 seconds left in the game. Handoff here to Aaron Rodriguez. I think that's actually Edward Hurtado with the carry, and Hurtado gets to the 30, and with 45 seconds left in the game, Rene Ramirez will call another timeout for the Mavericks. Of course, on Friday, we'll be here for varsity football as the Eagles welcome the Taft Raiders, 7 o'clock kickoff time. The high school tennis team, Eagle Pass High School, will be playing here at 4:30 against Uvalde. We've got volleyball action here. Also, a busy day at the SAC next Friday. Volleyball will also be here. Win against Del Rio at the SAC. 9th grade JV and varsity. Cross country next Friday, September 5th, will be at Southwest for Win. And the Eagles volleyball will be at Roosevelt in San Antonio at 5:30 there.
Got a bunch more on Saturday on the 6th of September.
3rd and 5 for the Mavericks here from the 30-yard line. Cruz drops back to pass. Late blitz coming. The line holds up. Cruz lets a pass go. It's caught inside the 15. And down near the 5-yard line at the 6 is the receiver, number 10, Matthew Villaseñor. And with 34 seconds and counting, half a minute now, the Mavericks trying to get their offense onto the field. They'll call their final timeout of the game at 29 seconds left in the game. Cross country next Saturday, September 5th. High school will be at Del Rio. Memorial Junior High also will be at Del Rio. Volleyball, Eagle Pass High Schools will be at a Laredo tournament. Eagle Pass Junior High will be at a Del Rio tournament for volleyball. And Memorial Junior High volleyball will also be in Del Rio. Lots of stuff going on in Del Rio next Saturday, September 6th. We, of course, will have our prediction show on Wednesday, September 3rd at 12:30 live from Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC there with our friend Adrian Ortiz doing our prediction show from there. And we'll be here live for the game between the Uvalde Coyotes and the Mavericks. And then as the Eagles welcome in the Taft Raiders on Friday. We've got a busy week next week, partner. 29 seconds left to the Mavericks trying to punch this in. Cruz takes the snap. The handoff is to Hurtado, and I don't know if the Mavericks are going to have enough time to line up for another play as Hurtado gets to the 5. They're scrambling to try to get set again. Actually, 36, Humberto Munoz with the carry there from the pistol formation again. Here's Cruz, another handoff to Humberto Munoz, and the big trying to rumble into the end zone for a touchdown. The big, usually defensive lineman and quarterback. That's going to be the end of the game. 47-0 is the Eagle victory. Partner, some final comments from you on this game.
Well, really tough game for the Mavericks, but the Eagles pretty much had just too much offensive firepower here tonight with experience, and we saw Barrera and company really come out and execute very, very well.
47-0 is the final score. We want to thank our sponsors, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, and State Representative Eddie Morales. And we want to thank you for joining us on this first game of the 2025 season. We're going to cover a whole lot more for you here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Stay tuned to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and very soon our newly renovated website, EaglePassSportsCentral.com, will be up and running, we expect, soon also, where you can get all kinds of sports information. For now, 47-0 is the final here at the SAC. Eagles over the Mavericks. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., my name is Ruben Valadez. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.